I'm Zoe Deutsch. I play Rose Hathaway.
I'm Lucy Fry. I play Lucy Dragomir.
I'm Sammy Gale. I play Mia Rinaldi.
I'm Dominic Sherwood, and I play Christian Ozera. I feel like you didn't really need to differentiate my voice.
There's that one she definitely needed.
Yeah.
Just to be sure.
So was that your first time seeing the new trailer or the new sizzle reel?
It was, yeah.
It was for me too.
I think it's it's a lot different than the last one. What did you guys think?
Loved it. It was really exciting. I think that it really showed the difference, all the different elements cut together really well, like the humor and the action and the comedy and the romance. So you can kind of see how it works, because when you read the script and you have so many different layers in terms of so many elements to the script, it's hard to imagine how it's going to fit. And I think in that you can really see the way that it fits so well.
Have you guys read the books? Were you familiar with the series when you were cast?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a big fan base for the books, and obviously, as you guys probably have already found out, fans can sometimes be very opinionated when it comes to movie adaptations of their books. Have you guys had to deal with that already, or are you worried about how fans are going to react to,
I've had little bits, like nothing too... The only thing that I've really had is my eyes are different colours, and Christian,
Tom, everyone thinks that's really attractive.
I know, but
He loves to do this whole pity party thing where he's like, poor me, my eyes are awesome.
Yeah, it's literally the coolest thing ever.
The only things that I've had from is because in the books Christian has blue eyes, so and it's written in quite significantly. But I've got one, I'm at least halfway there, so it's, but that's all I've had. So
yeah, the fans were really upset that I didn't have big boobs. That was a huge issue for them. Hopefully they can get over it. But that was like a genuine problem that people had.
Oh my God.
It was like, she's not curvy. That was their way of telling me. But I'll have them know. We sorted the situation out.
Yeah, it
doesn't
How
mean
did
I
it
gotta
make you feel that people were talking about your boobs?
What?
How did it make you feel that all these people were talking about your boobs?
Felt objectified. No, I don't know.
I think for me, with my hair, Mia's character has blonde, long ringlets and blue eyes, and me, I do not have blonde ringlets. I do not have long ringlets, nor do I have long hair, nor do I have blue eyes. But I think once sort of the poster came out and people saw me as Mia, we've had a pretty positive reaction, so that's been nice. But there was definitely at first some, what is she going to look like? What are you going to do? She doesn't have long hair.
Right. I know what it's like for when you read a book and you get a really specific idea in your head of what it's going to be like, and everyone's idea is going to be different, so there's absolutely no way that it's ever going to match your imagination, and it's so hard to let that go, because once you see the film, you see the character as the actor, and it's always hard at first to make that transition and let the actor kind of take on your character that you've created in your head. So I don't think anyone's going to be happy and that they won't see what they imagine, but you have to just be open-minded and be ready for something new.
Can you talk about what you like about the character that you're playing, and can you also talk about, tell us if there was a different character that, since you're familiar with the books, that you would have been interested in?
Wow. I want to play Dimitri.
I was exactly the same. I would have said that too.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I think everyone would. I think but as well.
I don't want to play Dimitri, I want to be Danila.
Yeah, because we've all met Danila, I think, playing Dimitri and being in Danila's shoes, even just for like 30 seconds of my entire life, would be amazing. It's such a shame we couldn't be here.
Yeah. I think the thing that the question was, what do I love about the character I played? Is that correct? I think there are many facets to the character that I appreciate and love and respect about Rose. One would be that her fighting skills are basically as brutal as her sense of humor. You know, she's someone who uses humor as a means of survival, which I think is also incorporated into the book, but also strongly in the movie. Now, I love that she knows what she wants, and she will get it. There's no stopping her. And I love that she's loyal. And I think that's a really nice message for young teenage girls to send out, that friendship means that much. She would do anything for Lissa, and I respect that.
With the fight choreography, tell us a little bit about the training process and...
well, do you guys want to say something? Do you want to answer the question too? Everyone answers the question.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we get an opportunity.
What I loved about Lissa is again, same with Lissa and Rose, that their friendship comes first in everything. Of course, they have their amazing romances, and that's really exciting and wonderful. But the fact that the friendship is the key to the whole story is a really great message, because when you're a teenager, your friends are what really matter. And Lissa, as a not a human, but as a vampire, she is so sensitive and loving, and I love the way that she takes everything in and lets herself be affected by everything around her. And I think her vulnerability and the way that she is so absorbent of everything is really lovely, and I really enjoyed playing her.
I think for me with Mia, what I really admired most about her was that, you know, underneath this sort of shield that she puts up of being this manipulative, bratty, mean girl, she's really just an insecure girl who's trying to find herself. And I think that's something that's really relatable for all teenagers. I feel for me, growing up as a teenager, I just think that a lot of us are, you know, a little bit lost in trying to find ourselves. And I like that she can, you know, even though she's mean, I think people can relate to her by seeing that she's just unfortunately insecure, and she'll hopefully overcome that.
Yeah, actually I feel a kind of similar sort of thing towards Christian, in a weird way, that he has his kind of sarcasm, and he has his sardonic nature that is very much a mask for kind of the pain that he's feeling, for how degraded he was in school, and all of the things that happened with his parents and so on. I feel it's a similar sort of thing with Mia and with her character, with Sammy and her character. That it is one of those things that's like, when you're a teenager, you do have to put up certain walls that kind of defend you from like what can be very mean-spirited and very effective when you're young and growing. So I admire the fact that he kind of finds Lissa and a kindred spirit in Lissa, and manages to kind of overcome it and open up for the first time.
No, sorry. Now let's get to the fights. The fight choreography.
Yes.
Talk about the process of the training. Were there any unfortunate mishaps on set with it as well? And who's the best fighter?
Whoa, that's not one question. Okay, I have a really bad memory. So, I trained for about a week after I was cast. I started training, gym training, because I'm not necessarily a what one would call buff person. I began training very early on in the process. Even prior to getting a second draft of the script, I was already training. I was in the gym at least 3 hours every day until I went to London. And then in London for 2 weeks I had stunt choreography. I only had 2 weeks to learn most of the fights, which was relatively stressful, but I think that was, in my opinion, the most important time of the entire shoot, was the 2 weeks I had prior to learn everything. The stunt team, stunt choreographer and the stunt team are so wonderful and professional and helpful and kind and brilliant. So I felt very lucky to be in such hands. Who's the best fighter?
Zoe.
Yes.
No, I'm not. I wish. But in my opinion, I think the best fighter, the one who looks the most badass, would perhaps be Dominique. Not him. Yeah. Dominique. Dominique, who's a professional dancer. So she would pull out these moves, and I'd just be like, what? How'd you do that? How'd you lift your leg like that? So I think she was incredible, and she's only in one sequence, I believe. But she was wonderful. Yeah.
So inevitably, there are going to be comparisons to a certain other very popular vampire franchise.
We don't speak the name.
No, I think there's something to be said about the fact that it was so successful. There must be something wonderful about it, and I don't put down that movie at all.
No.
Yeah, I think it's a great film.
Are you guys also ready if this takes off like that? Are you guys, ready to deal with becoming, worldwide superstars?
I don't think that's something you can ever be ready for.
Think about it.
Yeah.
But also, if I was speaking honestly without trying to sound cool or rehearsed, if that's the case, then that means this movie was a big success and people enjoyed it. It made people feel things, and they spent their money well. They enjoyed what they saw. They enjoyed the art, and therefore, we've accomplished what we wanted to. know. So in that sense, if for me, if I can look at it from that perspective, opposed to the word fame or celebrity or whatever blanket you put that situation under, I think it's a little bit easier to deal with. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be like a kind of semblance of success. Like we set out to do this job, and we're obviously all aiming to get the same result. And if that were to happen, if we were lucky enough for people to kind of take it on as well as that, then that to us would be like, pat on the back, guys. You did it.
Yeah.
I think
Thing, like,
it's the most gratifying thing, at least for me, I'm sure for all of you guys, about our job is that we get to hopefully touch people, and that would sort of be evidence that we've done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And are there already plans for sequels if the film does do well? Can you say it? You can't say it.
I just shook my body, which I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like some sort of, maybe it's like
it's
instinct.
a
I
visceral
just want to be,
reaction, like shimmy means. Don't ask me that question.
I'm gonna wiggle out of this one.
Did you guys talk to the author about your characters at all? Any little insights that she gave you?
She came to set.
Yeah, it
the
was
first time
really
I spoke
great
to her was
to
on
meet
set.
her. I remember the first thing that I asked was what it was like to see, like, 'cause she, dreamed it up all herself, and to see your imagination made physical and real. And she said that what the main difference was is that everything was much grander. The book going into a more kind of Hollywood world, I guess, everything becomes like characters are all looking really beautiful, and the costumes are all amazing, and the school was huge and just amazing, like decadent, is that the word for it? And she just was really amazed to see everything so glorious, that it was so polished and beautiful. And I think that she was quite overwhelmed on her day on set to see that everything had come to life, and see Rose and Lissa and Mia and Dom and everyone standing in front of her.
Yeah, the day she came, we were shooting kind of a scene with everybody in the cast.
Kind of everything as well, like
Yeah.
all of the
Really
like,
got the
everything
vibe.
kind of came up, and like there were like powers we used, and like all of the vampires and all of the kind of lead Dhampir are all there, so it was really cool to have her there on a day that was so kind of that was a real kind of, this is what's going on, like this is a real look at the whole sort of thing. And, which was I was really glad she came that day. It's kind of a shame that she missed some of maybe she didn't. She came and saw like the stunts and stuff afterwards, right after the classroom.
Yeah, and I think the question of like, did I ask her about the character? I was blessed with 6 books of what she thinks of the character. It's all from Rose's perspective, which is half my work is done for me essentially. When I met her, I was so shocked by how unbelievably beautiful she is. I kind of I turned into I just embarrassed myself. I just kept talking. I was just like really, and she's very composed and slightly quiet, so when that happens for me, I spiral out of control. Combined with her being ridiculously beautiful, like I didn't know what to do. So luckily I recently got to go to dinner with her and hopefully prove that I'm not as much of a freak as she thought I was. Dom was at the dinner, so no, is that a no, Dom? Yeah,
I'm totally
she is wonderful and a great mother. She's wonderful.
Sammy, I know that the sequel came up, but Mia's character has so much good stuff in the second book. I feel like everyone's hoping for a second movie, but I feel like for you it's got to be an even deeper thing.
Like we said, we can't really talk. If that were to happen, that would be fantastic. I mean, I have knowledge of what's in the book, and I think it's great in the book. Mia sort of redeems herself in the second novel, so.
And we'd get to go to like a really fancy
And we
ski
get to go to a
resort.
ski lodge, and I love to
Even
ski.
though I don't ski.
It's okay. She learned how to fight. She'll be awesome. But yeah, it could be really fun. So obviously we hope for that, but we can't say anything.
Yeah, Mason has a big part in that second book as well. Cameron.
It's a very difficult thing when